There we go. That was weird. Hello. Did you guys see the earlier stream like a second ago? Did you get like a pop-up or something? That was weird. You did? Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Have you liked and subscribed yet? Yes or no? I want to fight God. No. No, I want to be... No, I eat lunch alone. I think that's a good one. Hello, everybody. Hi, how are you? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Am I at the right live? I believe you are. You should be. You should be. What's going on? Is everybody good? I prefer to eat alone. Go fuck yourself, nerds. Nerds. It is Mr. Beans' second birthday. Mr. Beans, where are you? Mr. Bean. He'll come. He loves when I talk to him. Bean. He'll show up. So Trump gave a weird-ass speech. Long-ass, weird-ass, July 4th ass. It looked like a campaign speech. It looks like he's fucking running for president. That's what it looks like. So let's give it a watch. But also, guys, let's give it a couple of seconds before we start. I don't want to just dive right into it. Happy July 4th. Yeah. Yeah, I know. You're like, happy about what? Independent from what? July 4th from what? This is our holiday. It's not his. It's not theirs. This holiday belongs to us. And I'll be damned if I let the fucking maggots take it from us. 250 years ago, the United States of America had a revolution over a king. Actually, we declared independence from a king. And then we fought a revolution. Because in the United States of America, we don't believe in kings. We don't believe in religious persecution. We don't believe in taxation without representation. And if there's one fucking thing we certainly don't believe in, it's being told what is best for us. And that's what was going on in the 13 colonies. You know, we're a fucking ocean away from the King of England, and yet that motherfucker kept telling us what to do. And we said, hey, listen, Jack, we got the right to come up with our own destiny. Who the fuck are you? And that's how it happened. Anyway, we got a fight coming up. We got a lot coming up. You know, the big beautiful bill is passed. Some terrible shit is about to go down. You know, a lot of $800 billion cut to Medicaid, $500 billion cut to Medicare, just the worst possible shit you could imagine. They were cheering. They were going, YMCA, we passed the bill that kills the poor people, yeah. They're not gonna eat food yesterday. They ain't gonna eat tomorrow either, yeah. Like, it's really bad. It's really, really bad. It's really, really bad. Essentially, the Republicans just passed the go fuck yourself, I'm gonna punch your grandmother bill, and all the MAGA chuds were like, yeah! So, other than that, Trump did a little stupid-ass speech. Let's watch it. Before we do, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you're new here. I'm Chris Valenti. I'm a douchebag from New York who majored in history and minored in political science. There's nothing I hate more than fascists. Liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting the notification bell. It's free, believe it or not, and it helps me out a lot. So go ahead and do that. And then if you want to support the channel financially, please do. Many ways to do it. Become a patron. Become a member. Hit the thanks button. Donate to the channel. Buy merch. Use the discount code in the description. There's a lot of different ways. This is grassroots funded. I've never had a conversation with an advertiser, billionaire, or government. So every last donation, I really do appreciate. You guys are the ones who keep this operation moving. Your hair's on point today? I literally rolled out of bed, made a pot of coffee, and went live.
proud. Well,
Bro, I don't know why, but this gives me like the Colosseum and Caesar coming out and they go, Caesar, 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 Caesar. That's what it's giving me. I know they're chanting USA, but still.
I want to say a very special hello to Iowa. We have had a good time together.
I'm going to turn it up a bit. I got it, sorry.
We won so much here, we didn't know what to do. There was so much winning here, but we love Iowa, and we won all 3 times. So that's pretty good, and won by a lot, but I'm thrilled to be back in a state that I love, and I really do love it too, with thousands of proud, hardworking patriots at the world-famous Iowa State Fairgrounds. Thank you. Thank you.
Look at this guy's shirt.
18 months ago,
Ultra Mega!
People of Iowa braved sub-zero temperatures. You remember that night? Oh, that was cold.
Yo, this is a strange, like, dichotomy. I want you to take a look at this. This feels like a mosaic to me. Look at the child. The child knows not what he is in. The child knows not where he is or what he does. But the child looks at the Doland. The Doland feeds the information. And at the end of the process, we get the final product. The Ultra MAGA Trump camo hat. Brother probably fought in Korea or Vietnam. No, probably not Korea. He's too young. Brother could have fought in Vietnam for all we know. But look at this. This could be a fucking mosaic. It's like the victim, the perpetrator, and the consequence.
It was cold, but we were warm inside because we won by a landslide to turn out the first in the nation caucuses, and you delivered 98 out of 99 counties. What the hell county didn't? What's the name of that county? Let's get them out of here. 98 out of 99, that's not bad, Susie, I guess, right? We'll take that. But for President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, thank you very much, everybody.
Just wait until, you want to know what's going to happen? These counties across the nation, the ones who like voted almost 100% for Donald Trump, you do understand that a lot of these people are going to lose their health care. A lot of these people are going to lose their Social Security. A lot of these people are veterans. They're going to lose their treatment at the VA, right? This is what I've been saying. That is when shit starts to crumble, right? Once these Trump towns where they're like, wait a minute, we all voted for you, brother. We all voted for you. Why are any of us losing health? And they suddenly realize that political, or I guess, bills, right, or laws, they don't affect people based on your loyalty to the president. You know what I'm saying? It's not like if you voted for Donald Trump, his policies simply can only affect you in a positive way. That's not how this works, right? So this bill is going to fuck over the very people who the entire town voted for him. That is when a little bit of faith is going to start to crumble, because it's going to be very hard to reason with losing your health care and having no one to blame other than Donald Trump and his big, beautiful bill.
Then in November, we won Iowa by a landslide, 13 points, and it was the single largest presidential...
Especially because of one thing. Let me bring up one thing. In these small towns, these small municipalities, sometimes they only have like one hospital, okay? That's it. And if the hospital is no longer going to be getting federal funding, if the hospital can no longer afford to maintain itself, all of these people are going to start flocking to the inner cities trying to get health care there, which is going to lead to a crisis because the hospitals aren't going to be able to maintain this influx of patients, right? The whole system is going to collapse once people realize that their current primary provider will not give them treatment.
Victory in your state's history. That's not bad.
Graham says, we all got tax cuts. Cry about it, get a job. You didn't get a tax cut. Graham, I don't know how much money you make, but unless you're in the 1%, you did not get a tax cut. That's not how this works. Let me see if I can get the
And now
graph.
we're back where it all started to...
There's a graph here. Somebody said, play hide and go fuck yourself. Where is it? This is it. Oh, no, I think this one is... Both of them are good. We'll go with this one. So here's the graph. Now, I already can predict what this guy's probably going to say. He's going to say that the graph is fake, but let's see. Share of tax cuts from House Reconciliation Bill. So the richest 20% are going to be getting up to 68% tax cuts. Now, if you remember, that's what Trump kept on saying. He was like, we're all going to get 68% giant tax cuts. That's for the richest 20%. Now, let's see. What bracket would I be in? I would be right here. I'd be in the middle class, right? Between 55 and 94, right? So maybe I'll get an 11% tax cut, but that's nowhere near the amount of tax cuts that they're giving the fucking wealthy. And on top of that, I don't really give a fuck about patting me on the back and giving me a 11% tax cut when you're going to punch me in the stomach and take away my fucking health care. Like, bro, I'm on Medicaid. or Medicare. You know, the same thing with fucking, what is it? 11 to 19 million people, they're all going to be losing their fucking health care. Now, if you're making about 28,000, yeah, you're only getting a 1% tax cut. It's like, okay, like, thank you for what? You know what it feels like? It feels like everyone in this, there's like 100 people in the room, everybody's starving, right? And there's this big fat bastard with all the food. He's got all the food. And you know what he keeps on doing? He keeps on taking a couple of fries and throwing them at us. Like, sure, I'm starving to death, so thank you for the fry, but like, brother, can I have a burger? Can I have one of the chicken tenders? Could we distribute the food a little bit better? This is fucked. You know what I'm saying? That's how it feels. He extended the 2017 tax cut, which cut all of our taxes. But Graham, do you not deny that this is a... Do you... support giving the richest 20% in our nation a 67% tax cut? Do you support that? Like, do you want to give the rich huge tax cuts? Democrats shouldn't have pretended that the tax cuts were only for the rich, because obviously their plan was to raise everyone's taxes back up and then to claim they're attacking the... Dude, I don't give a fuck what the Democrats' plan is, because this one passed. I think that it's more important to look at what is actually going to happen because the bill has passed. But genuine question, without trying to be insulting, do you believe that the richest members of our society need a tax cut? I'm genuinely curious about that, because I hope you're not going to deny that they're getting the largest tax cut. What the fuck was that? Luigi, it's okay. I think it was a fucking firework. Luigi, I think it was just a firework. Luigi, come here, mama. Thank you for the $25. Anyway, let's get back to the video. What do you say? I don't support the Dems repealing that, which is obviously what they want. I'd agree with raising taxes on them if they weren't planning to increase my taxes and just call me the rich. Dude, enough about what the fucking Dems want. The Dems have no power. Every single Democrat voted no to this bill, and it went through because Trump owns the Senate, the House, Congress, the Supreme Court. Like, brother, be so fucking for real. Who gives a shit about all these hypotheticals, ifs and whats, and, you know, live in the reality that we're living in. This bill increases the tax cuts for the rich. They're going to get massive tax cuts. You might get a little tax cut, but I don't know how much money you make. I don't think you're in the top 1%. But it's clearly designed for the billionaires to profit the most off of this, brother. Quite clearly. Thank you for the money. Give me 1 second. I got to calm down Luigi. She really doesn't like fireworks. Mama! Luigi, come here. Do you want a piece of cheese? Come here. Come here. Luigi. Okay. All right, I'm going to ask this guy one more question, then we're going to go back to the video, okay? I just have one more question just because I really want to understand how he functions. All right, is he still here? Graham, last question. Excuse me.
Do you believe that if somebody cannot afford health care, that they should not get the treatment? Do you believe that, like, if you just can't afford it, fuck you, die? Is that your take on health care? Weenie girl. Come here.
Celebrate 5 months of incredible success for our nation and wish the Iowans and all Americans a very happy 4th of July. It's an honor to be with you. It's an honor. You know, a lot of people wanted us. When you're president, they want you. And if you're not president, they don't want you so much. But they really wanted us. And I said, nope, I'm going to Iowa because I promised I would go to Iowa. Sorry. I said, no way. There could be no better birthday present for America than the phenomenal victory we achieved just hours ago when Congress passed the one big, beautiful bill to make America great again. Right?
Your audio keeps cutting out, brother. No, I muted it for a second because Luigi was borking.
People gave us a historic mandate to cut taxes, raise take-home pay, bring back jobs, stop the invasion, that horrible invasion.
Come here.
Who would do that? Who would do that? That horrible. Who would do that to us? Who would do that to us?
I saw the phone text.
Deport the illegals and slash hundreds of billions of dollars of waste and fraud, and that's what we're doing. With this bill, every major promise I made to the people of Iowa in 2024 became a promise kept. You know, they had a report today on some crazy fake station, but it wasn't fake in this regard. They said, you know, this guy actually did more than he promised. I did.
What about that?
And I have another hat back there. You can't really hear her
barking too much.
Donald Trump was right about everything. And I said, no. I said, no.
What about that?
That sounds a little too conceited, but it happens to be true, I must tell you.
What about that?
This bill includes the largest tax cut in American history.
Better?
The largest spending cut in American history.
This is good? This is good?
The largest border security investment in American history, although I must tell you, if you saw last month, they had 0 people coming through our border. 0. I'm not sure that's even possible. You know, I'll take it, but somebody must have got to. The other character had hundreds of thousands of people every time. Sometimes in a day, they'd have over 100,000. We had 0, I don't know, for the month. So it must be a little wrong. Maybe they're 2 or 3. So
Graham, in response to if I said if somebody can't afford health care, should they just die? He says if they're an American, if they're an American or a legal immigrant, then yes. Oh, I think you mixed it. So you say if you're here illegally, especially if you came under Biden, and you can't afford health care and you need it, you should just die? Is that genuine? Is that genuinely your take? That's actually the way that you believe, like you, that's how you think? For real? Because that's what I asked you. Don't kick him. Not yet. I want him to answer. If he would. I don't know if he will. Weenie!
But I'll take the 0. And the group that makes up those stats, you know, they're radical left Democrats, so it's probably true. We did a great job on the border. The largest welfare reforms and military upgrades in modern times. That's what we're doing. We rebuilt our military in 2016 in their first term. We rebuilt it. They gave some of it away to Afghanistan in the most embarrassing day in the history of our country.
Graham, can you just answer my question? Is that your take? You believe that if you're an illegal immigrant, specifically if you came under Joe Biden and you don't have the money for health care and you need it, you should just die? Is that genuinely your take? Yes or no?
We remember that. We remember that. We don't have days like that. We have days like we just had in Iran. That's the kind of days we have. complete obliteration. It turned out that was complete obliteration. Think of these guys flying way up in the air on a dark night, no moon, no nothing, and they hit every single target. It's the size.
All right, Graham, one more try here. I'm going to ask you one more time here. Try and just listen. Do you believe that if you are an undocumented immigrant, specifically if you came, or especially if you came under Joe Biden and you cannot afford health care, do you believe that they should just die? They should go to their own government and get health care. Okay, but what if they're here and they need the health care now, like it's an emergency, you know what I mean? Like, you know, emergencies happen. They need the health care, they can't afford it, they're here, they're undocumented, they came under Biden. What should happen? Should we give them the health care or should we just let them die?
Size of 1/2 a refrigerator door, a little size, 2 by 2. But this is a declaration of independence from a really national decline. We had a national decline. We were a laughing stock all over the world. We had a man as president who shouldn't have been there. You know that. Shouldn't have been there. But we really had independence now over the, if you look at it, the overtaxation where we were being taxed out of our lives. Independence from overregulation.
I'm going to fill up my coffee. I'll be right back. Luigi, it's just fireworks, Mama. You don't need to tweet. You do not need to tweet. It's not gunfire. It's not an explosion. It's not a grenade. We moved past all that, sweetheart. That was the old me. Come on, let's go do the show. Come on, let's hang out while I do the show. Come on. No need to bark, no need to bark. Ugh. Mama, for the love of fuck, I'll tweak out. I will tweak out. I'll tweak the fuck out, dog. Alrighty.
We have independence now from radical left bureaucrats and independence from the largest alien invasion that I think any country has ever seen. We've never had anything like that.
Bro, if you played that soundbite to somebody from like years ago, like go back in time, I could take that soundbite and I could go to somewhere like an Amish village and I could be like, hey, you know Donald Trump is the president, right? And they'll be like, yeah, and I'll go, watch this clip. And they'll actually think of fucking alien invasion like the Martians. Watch this.
Just alien invasion that I think any country has ever seen. We've never had anything like that. These people were fools. They allowed it to happen. You know, we've already cured inflation. Your gas prices are way down.
You can't cure inflation, you stupid fuck.
Everything I said is done. But the one thing, it's hard. It's hard. Think of the time we spent on having murderers and gang members and prisoners from all over the world come into our country. We're getting them out fast, but it's a terrible thing what they've done to our country, and I hope you remember it, what they've done to our country, our beautiful country. 11,888 murderers came into our country, and some we've already gotten out, but it's terrible. Many of them, more than 50% murdered more than one person. Can you believe it? And
Jack, put yourself in the corner. We do not compliment Donald Trump.
Let them come into our beautiful country. Just as I promised, we're making the Trump tax cuts permanent and delivering no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors.
Meanwhile, every company in America is going to go, that's great. In other news, no more tips, no more overtime. And then the federal government is going to go, oh, and by the way, no more Social Security.
Right? Front row Joe. We got a lot of front.
Graham says, do they go do medical tourism, and then does that government pay it for them? Do they tax their own citizens to pay the American taxpayer? Apparently, if not, they're evil. Brother, I can't even keep track of what you're fucking saying. I'm sorry. I don't even know what the fuck you mean.
Front row Joe's.
All I'm saying is, dog, and maybe you agree, I think that every person on planet Earth deserves free health care. maybe that makes me a fucking commie in your eyes, but I believe in a nation where we just signed a bill that increased the debt ceiling by $3.3 trillion, that perhaps we could afford to at least offer a free version of healthcare. A free version. Now, that doesn't mean that if you get your, leukemia or something and you want to go see like a specialist in Switzerland, you got the money, go ahead, get on a jet, go fucking fly over there, go pay $1 million and cure it. You know what I'm saying? But I believe there should be some sort of avenue where if you don't have the money and you're sick, you can still get help. I don't understand why you just refuse to believe that we have the money when they say, hey, we've got the money for $19.2 billion B-2 bombers. And you're like, okay, but what about the money? We got the money for Alligator Alcatraz. We got the money for all this shit, but we don't get the money for healthcare.
Here, that's very nice. Thank you. Thank you. And we have Mr. Wall. Someday I'm buying that suit, I'm telling you. I like that suit. I'll walk up one day, I'll be dressed like a wall, just like you. I think he's come to about 200 rallies, and that means you like us. And I think he's a very successful guy, too, believe it or not. He's a top accountant. Can you believe this? And he comes to rallies, he likes the rallies. Front row Joes, they're all successful. But this is what they do for entertainment. But now it's not entertainment. We've saved our country. We've got the hottest country anywhere in the world, as said by many, many leaders of other countries. And we will ignite trillions of dollars in economic growth.
I think there's a reason why he keeps saying we've got the hottest country, I think it's this weird thing where, like, he can't say that we've got the most affordable country. He can't say that we've got the best country. Like, I think hottest has no real fucking meaning, so he can say it without people challenging him.
Increase take-home pay for the typical family by more than $10,000 a year. And very importantly for Iowa, this bill rescues over 2 million family farms from the so-called estate tax or the death tax.
Everybody say happy birthday to Beans. Today's his second birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Bean. Wow. Wow. You're 2 years old. You're 2, Bean. Happy birthday, Bean. Wow. Okay, I'll let you go. There you go.
In other words, before Trump, you were losing farms to the banks. Before Trump, you were losing the farms like nobody's ever seen.
Can of Buddha, I had a different one growing up. We had beans. They're good for your heart. The more you eat them, the more you fart. The more you fart, the better you feel. So eat beans with every meal.
Before you love your children. You don't feel so well, you pass away, you leave everything to your children, and
even for the
they have to pay a big estate tax, or a death tax as we call it, and they couldn't do it. They go out and borrow money, and all of a sudden the bank is foreclosing on the farm.
What did he just say? Hold on. Hi.
You were losing farms to the banks. Before Trump, you were losing the farms like nobody's ever seen before. You love your children. You don't feel so well, you pass away, you leave everything to your children, and they have to pay a big estate tax, or a death tax as we call it, and they couldn't do it. They go out and borrow money, and all of a sudden the bank is foreclosing on the farm. Not going to happen. You have no more estate tax. You have no more death tax to pay.
That's definitely not true. There's no fucking shot that's... Do you know how expensive it is to die? This motherfucker is acting like he's gonna kill the death industry. Do you know how much money people make when motherfuckers die? It is so expensive to die in the United States. It ain't free.
Now that's if you love your children. If you don't love your children, it doesn't matter. Just forget about what I said. Not gonna help.
What?
But if you love them, or if you love somebody that you're leaving it to, think of that. No death tax, no estate tax, no going to the banks and borrowing from, in some cases, a fine banker, and in some cases, Shylocks and bad people. But they took away.
Did he just say Shylocks? That's like... That's like Merchant of Venice Shakespearean anti-Semitism. That is professional anti-Semitism. Dude, that is wild, wild, wild. Shylocks, he called them. Shylocks. Let's go back. Hold on. That's fucking nuts.
From, in some cases, a fine banker, and in some cases, Shylocks and bad people.
Shylocks and bad people, and he's looking at the teleprompter. Bro, Stephen Miller probably wrote that. Brother, I haven't heard somebody say the word Shylock in fucking decades. What does that mean? It just means like a really greedy banker, but it's supposed to be like a pun on Yiddish, and it's an anti-Semitic way of referring to Jewish bankers. That's what it is. That is so fucking nuts.
But they took away a lot of family. They destroyed a lot of families, but we did the opposite. So just remember, to me, it's so important, and it was mostly important for places like we're at right now. It's really, I'm so proud of it.
Look up Shylock. Oh, wait, first look at the images. Like, oh, Jesus. Shylock refers to the fictional Jewish moneylender in William Shakespeare's play The Merchant of Venice. The central character in the play's antagonist, the name Shylock has become a term broader discourse. A loan shark, a relentless or merciless creditor. It's important to note that the term Shylock is rooted in historical anti-Semitic stereotypes and can be considered offensive. The portrayal of Shylock and the play's potential for perpetuating negative stereotypes about Jewish people and the money have been the subject of ongoing debate.
At the same time, this bill cuts $1.5 trillion in spending. So wasteful spending is being cut by
Yeah, we're getting all that money by cutting your fucking healthcare, you stupid idiots.
$1.5 trillion. And I got to tell you, I want to thank Republican congressmen and women, because what they did is incredible last night. And
the
Senate,
July
the
criminals.
Republican Senate, we got, not with all of the things we did with the tax cuts and rebuilding our military, not one Democrat voted for us. And I think we use it in the campaign that's coming up, the midterms, because we got to beat them. But all of the things.
You know what's funny about not one Democrat voting for this bill? I guarantee you there were a couple of Democrats who wanted to vote for the bill because they're fucking corrupt pieces of shit, and they didn't because of the optics. They didn't want to be the only person to vote for it, you know?
We've given, and they wouldn't vote only because they hate Trump. But I hate them too, you know that? So it's...
What? Just Democrats in general? You just hate Democrat? Hold on.
One Democrat voted for us, and I think we use it in the campaign that's coming up, the midterms, because we got to beat them. But all of the things that we've given, and they wouldn't vote only because they hate Trump. But I hate them too, you know that? So it's sort of the...
So the President of the United States just said that he hates every single Democrat. That's like, brother, you're you're tipping towards the edge of civil war here. You can't fucking say that type of shit. You're the President of the United States.
I really do. I hate them. I cannot stand them because I really believe they hate our country. You want to know the truth?
Oh, my God.
But it kicks illegal aliens off of Medicaid and food stamps and allows us to hire 3,000 new Border Patrol agents and 10,000 new ICE agents, and they are great. It's the Border Patrol and ICE.
This is part of Project 2025, by the way, the 10,000 ICE agents in Project 2025. They're trying to create a private Trump army handpicked from people from the Proud Boys, people from Patriot Front, any white supremacist group, the Ku Klux Klan. This is not a joke. This is straight up in Project 2025. It was written years ago. That's a cool-ass boat that's going by. But this is those 10,000. It's not like they're going to swear in. Like, it's not like they're real federal agents that are going from the FBI to ICE. These are just going to be people who volunteer for the program and are sworn in, given a gun, given a mask, and they just go around kidnapping people. And this was written out in Project 2025. It's supposed to be Trump's private military, like outside of the federal military. Yes, brown shirts.
The largest deportation operation in the history of our country. And I don't like saying that. But we have a country. We have a country to run, and we have so many people coming in that shouldn't be here. And they did. They came in from prisons, and they came in from drugs and gangs and drug lords, the worst.
You have to take note of what he's saying, okay? Because when we look back at Hitler's speeches, what do we notice? We notice that Hitler refers to any of the undesirables, whether they be Jews or whether they be communists, socialists, disabled people, Romani, it doesn't matter. He all refers to them the same way, Hitler. He says that they're a burden on society, they're vermin, they're rats, they are antithetical to the German way, they are murderers. That's what this is all purposeful, and the reason why he's been doing it for years is it's a slow drip. You slowly feed your population into believing that you have this so-called enemy, and that is your scapegoat. Fascism needs a scapegoat. And in the case of Germany, they use the Jews and the communists and the socialists, whatever. But here in the United States, they're not going with the Jews. They're going with the undocumented illegal migrants. They're going with just Latino people. They're going with socialists and liberals and anybody and everybody that they consider to be a dissident of the regime. They will label as something less than, right? And it's all a ploy. The whole reason they do this is so that they can round you all up and get these people to cheer for it because they believe you are now enemies.
In the world, they came in from mental institutions. They emptied mental institutions into.
And again, he's been saying this for years. That's not true. There's never been a single piece of evidence pointing to the fact that any nation is emptying their mental asylums or their prisons and like getting them to send them up to the United States.
Wonderful country.
Yes, and then Laura Loomer said 65 million meals coming up for the Crocs. That is not the population of undocumented immigrants. That is the Latino population in the United States. That right there is, without a doubt, a threat of genocide. And in 50, 60 years, when they go back and they make the documentaries and they look back at this moment and they say, how did nobody notice? They're going to pull up that tweet and they're going to say, brother, they said they were going to do it. They said it. They said it, and no one gave a fuck.
And I know exactly what's going on in Iowa. You had some horrible crime in Iowa caused by illegal aliens, but we're getting them the hell out of here. We have no choice.
And also, so the scapegoat is Biden. He says things like, we have no choice. Look what they made us do. The Biden administration did all this. Even Trump knows that it's going to look bad. All of this is going to look terrible, especially in the world stage. So what he's doing is saying, hey, I'm not doing this because I want to. I'm doing this because I have to, which is also exactly what Hitler fucking said.
And our great, big, beautiful bill, it will build the Golden Dome missile defense shield. We're going to have the best shield. And you saw that just the other day where the missiles are being shot down one after another. You know, they called me to tell me they have to take a shot at us. This was Iran, very respectful. That means they respect us. Because we dropped 14 bombs, they said, we'd like to take 14 shots at you. I said, go ahead, I understand.
Go ahead, that's treason. That's actually treason. That is literally treason. Another nation says, hey, we're going to attack you, and he said, go ahead, that's fine. That's literally treason. That is actually treason. That is the very definition of treason. Look, treason, the crime of betraying one's country, especially by attempting to kill the sovereign or overthrow the government. The especially part doesn't matter. The crime of betraying one's country. Let's play what he just said again.
We dropped 14 bombs. They said, we'd like to take 14 shots at you. I said, go ahead, I understand.
That's treason. And I know MAGA is going to be like, well, nobody died, no Americans died. What if they did? Take the same... He said that before they sent the bombs. What if they did, though? What if they had killed somebody? And he said, oh, that's fine, go ahead. That's treason. Biff, before you run away, what's your take on this part right here? Hold on. This part right here. Biff.
Very respectful. That means they respect us.
He's talking about Iran bombing our American base in Qatar.
Because we dropped 14 bombs, they said, we'd like to take 14 shots at you. I said, go ahead, I understand.
What do you think about that, Biff, where he says, the Iranians said, hey, we got to take a shot at you, and we're going to send 14 missiles, and he said, that's okay, go ahead. What is your take on that? Please don't run. I gotta know. I gotta know, Biff, please. For the love of God, tell me how it works. Tell me how it works.
They said, where they'd do it. I said, good. We emptied out the fort. It was a beautiful military base in Qatar who treated us really fantastically well. And they said, sir, 1 o'clock, okay? I said, it was fine. We could make it later. And we had nobody but 4 gunners. We had 4, they call them gunners, and they shoot the Patriots. They shoot the missiles up. It's hard to believe. So all of a sudden, they said, we're ready. And they were a little nervous about doing it, I want to tell you. Can you imagine? They were nice enough. This is Iran, to call me and tell me that they would like to shoot me at 14 times. So they want to shoot us. And I said, go ahead. And they shot 14 high-grade, very fast missiles. Every single one of them was shot down routinely by these 4 unbelievable gunmen. And they did their job.
You're not going to answer, Bill?
That was
Biff? Did you say libs? Brother, the president of the United States just said that Iran was like, hey, we're going to attack your base. And his response was, that's okay. Genuinely, bro. I want to know your take.
The end of that. But the big thing was the attack on their nuclear facilities, what those people did. And you know, they're going to be in Washington tomorrow at the White House.
I'll check it out.
Celebrating. We took not only the pilots, but the people that flew the other planes, but also the mechanics that had these planes going for 37 hours without a stop. You know, we had it was so far away, we had 52 tankers. Think of that, 52 that's loaded up with oil. I wouldn't want to fly one of those suckers over random. I say, what happens if they're shot at? Well, sir, that's a tough situation. It's not a pretty sight, but they were unbelievable. 52 tankers to load them up. They followed the planes in, and they never had to stop for fuel. They went 37 hours, actually. And how incredible. What equipment. What equipment. And, you know, China, Russia, they were all watching.
He's also wrong. They did stop for fuel. They just stopped midair. So I don't know why I think he's just dumb.
Everybody was watching. We have the greatest equipment anywhere in the world. We have the greatest people anywhere in the world. And we have the strongest military anywhere in the world. But we're going to fully modernize our air traffic control system and expand school choice and really so much more. By the way, the air traffic control, you probably don't have that problem here. You know, you have planes land like but in some congested areas,
mid-air. No, you know what I mean, Biff. I'm talking about mid-air refueling. It's a fucking an incredible feat. But they did refuel. They didn't. The pilots didn't fly for 37 hours straight. They had 2 pilots. Oh, sorry. They had 2 pilots, and they did refuel midair. $5 donation. The craziest part is when people say he's joking in response to saying wild things like that. They're fucking stupid.
What happened with the helicopter and the plane and a lot of other things. If we had great equipment, and we should have had, it was all set up to go, and then Biden canceled the order when he came in. But he canceled a lot of orders because he didn't know what the hell he was doing. There's a case would have never happened. Bells would have gone off. Whistles would have gone off. Everything would have gone off. It would have never happened. Very simply, the one big, beautiful bill would deliver the strongest border on earth, the strongest economy on earth, the strongest military on earth, and ensure the United States of America will remain the strongest country anywhere on this beautiful planet of ours. 165 days into the Trump administration, America is on a winning streak like, frankly, nobody's ever seen before in the history of the presidency. I said, they said, you know, sir, you're going to go down as one of the greatest presidents ever. I said, really? No, I said, really? I said, better than Washington?
Brother is actually going to go down as Definitely the stupidest president of all time. He may not even go down as the worst. I think he's the worst president, but I don't think that he's going to go down in the history books as the worst president of all time, considering there were presidents that were there for like 2 fucking weeks. But I do think he will go down as the stupidest president of all time.
I said, yes, sir. I
Yes,
said, better
sir.
than Honest Abe Lincoln? They said, yes, sir.
What the fuck, dude? This is so cringy.
I said, I like this guy that said that. That's a smart guy. He's up for a big promotion right now. But just a few months ago, our country was cold as ice.
Oh,
We were
and
laughed
now it's the hottest country on earth.
at all over the world. We were laughed at. Think of it, a year ago, we were laughed at. We were a bunch of clowns.
Bro, oh my God, he has no connection to reality, dude. The entire planet is laughing at us.
They were laughing at our president. They were laughing at everything having to do with our country. I was in Saudi Arabia. I was in Qatar. I was in U.A.E. Great leaders, strong, powerful, very
Yeah, we
rich
know you
leaders,
went to Qatar, bro. They gave you like a fucking $500 million jet.
by the way. But great leaders, very smart people. And they said to me, the king of Saudi Arabia, but the three said the same thing essentially. They said, you know, a year ago we thought your country was finished. We thought it was dead. Dead. Horrible word. Dead. And they were right. The country was close to death. And he said, and you know what? You've been in there. At that time it was 4.5 months. It was a couple of months ago. He said, right now, you're in the hottest country anywhere in the world. There's no country in the world. You talked about all over the world.
First of all, there's no fucking shot in hell that any leaders from the Middle East, like this king of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman said, "Oh, Mr. President, your nation is the hottest planet on earth." No, bro, you say that, and then you talk to people, and then you pretend that they say that. Fucking no shot. The Mohammed bin Salman said, "America's the hottest nation on earth." Fuck off.
You got the hottest, smartest, sharpest country. And by the way, look at our stock market. We're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars on tariffs with no inflation. And today we just set another record, the highest stock market in history. No inflation.
No inflation,
one of-
he says. Dude, these people are so fucking stupid.
The great economist from the Wharton School of Finance, where I happened to go, he apologized. He says, you know, I think Trump outsmarted us all. And yesterday was the poll, and out of 77 economists, I came in second.
In what?
I want to find the guy that came in first. Somebody
what?
came in first. Can you believe it? But we said what was going to happen, and it's happening. And I'll tell you what, we had the greatest economy in the history of my first term. This is going to blow it away. You watch. This is going to blow it away.
Yeah, you're right. It's going to blow it
For the
away. We're all
first
going to
time-
be blown away like a fucking dust bowl in a Western.
In years, this 4th of July, the economy is roaring, incomes are soaring, wages are up, prices are down. Gasoline, you see what's going on with gasoline? It's way down. See what's going on with eggs? Eggs are way down, eggs. Remember I came in my first week, the fake news, those guys right there, look at all of them. Wow, that's a...
Yep.
Wow.
Turn the people against the free press. Dude, this is literally fascism 101.
No, a lot of fake. No, but we like them. It just shows you, when you can get every story, 100% of the stories, no matter what you do that's good, they make it as bad as possible, and then you win in a landslide. There's something wrong. But the fake news hit me with eggs. Remember, first week, 4 days, eggs are through the roof. I said, I just got here. What's going on with eggs? Tell me. I didn't hear about it. They're up 5 times higher than they should be. They were going through the roof, but they were blaming me.
Chris,
I
how
said,
long do we have until full-out fascism? It's already here. It's already here. It's already here. You're just waiting for it to affect your town. It's already here.
I just got here.
There is a slippery slope down to fascism, right? We're not headed down it. We hit the bottom quite a while ago. I think we hit the bottom when Trump disobeyed a Supreme Court order, a unanimous 9-0 Supreme Court order, and there was no consequences. That was when we hit the bottom, and now we're just figuring out what it's like down here.
And within 2 months, our great Secretary of Agriculture, who I think is with us tonight, Brooke, where's Brooke? Oh, look at you. Look, she is here. She flew all the way she comes from Texas, but I think she likes Iowa maybe even better. Look at her. You did a good job with groceries and with eggs. We'll tell you, it's true. They said we have them this time, finally. It took an egg to get me, but that didn't happen either. Now they're down to a normal price, and people are ordering like crazy. But inflation is dead. 401ks and retirement accounts just hit an all-time record high. Did I
What a
hear
Kamala
what I
gets
think
7
I
million less
heard?
votes than Joe? Because Kamala Harris is a dog shit candidate. She didn't even have a primary. They just shoved her down our fucking throats. Listen, I don't know if you're probably new here, but like, no, I'm not a liberal. I'm a socialist, bro. I fucking hate the DNC.
But we've achieved the lowest level of illegal border crossings in U.S. history, 0 illegals. Think of it, we had 0. And as I said, and I'll say it again, I love it because I have never seen any country suffer. No country has ever. There's never, don't worry, it's only fireworks, I hope. Famous last words.
Why is everyone in the
My
crowd
famous
tweaking?
last word.
Because they don't have their cigarettes or their chewing tobacco. They're not allowed to consume nicotine when they're in the back. Like that. Whoops.
Trump said, don't worry, it's only fireworks. Yeah, you always have to think positive. I didn't like that sound either. You know? But last month, American-born workers gained 830,000 new jobs, a record. That's American.
Yeah, really even chew? Of course, bro. They can't spit. They're not allowed to spit
While
back
the
there.
illegal aliens lost 340,000. And we don't want bad for them, but look, we have a country to run, and we want to have them come in, and we want to have them help our farmers. You know, you probably saw I got myself into a little trouble. Because
This is his slavery thing. So he said in Alligator Auschwitz the other day, the concentration camp in Florida, he said that they're going to start this new program where they pass on ownership of the illegal immigrants that work on farms and the ones who are like maids and the ones who work in hotels. They're going to pass on ownership of those people to the landowners. Indentured servitude slavery shit. And I was probably going to say it again.
Said, I don't want to take people away from the farmers. And we're going to do something I think that's going to be good because we want all the criminals out. Everybody agrees that we're finding the criminals, the murderers, the drug dealers. We're getting them the hell out of here. But the farmers, some of the farmers, many of you sitting right here, I have 4 friends right in the 5th row. But some of the farmers, you know, they've had people working for them for years. And we're going to do something. We're working with Christie. And we're going to do something that we're going to sort of put the farmers in charge. And if a farmer's been with one of these people that work so hard, they bend over all day. We don't have too many people can do that, but they work very hard and they know them very well. And some of the farmers are literally, you know, cry when they see this happen. If a farmer's willing to vouch for these people, in some way, Christy, I think we're going to have to just say that's going to be good, right? You know,
He can't even say it. He can't even say it. He can't even say it. He's talking about slavery or indentured servitude. Do you understand what we're talking about here? I think I might have to record this. I think this is really important.
Come in and we want to have them help our farmers. You know, you
Okay, hold
probably
on.
saw I got myself into a little trouble because I said, I don't want to take people away. Last words, Trump said, don't worry, it's only fireworks. Yeah, you always have to think positive. I didn't like that sound either. You know? But last month,
Okay. It's at exactly 22. All right. I have to record this. Hi there. How you doing? Trump just said that he wants slavery to come back, or indentured servitude, some version of like the illegal immigrants that work on farms and the ones who work as maids in hotels. He wants to pass on ownership of them to like the farm owner, like the landowners, and that they'll vouch for them. And it's insane. Now the thing is, Trump said this the other day at Alligator Auschwitz, the concentration camp in Florida with a moat surrounding it full of pythons and alligators designed to eat 65 million Latinos. So, listen, I mean, it's demented. Big Beautiful Bill also passed. We talked about that. Happy July 4th. Listen, this is not a joke. Listen, when people tell you what they want to do, that means that they want to do it. And Trump can't even come to terms with saying it properly, so he really beats around the bush. And it's really, really a problem. This comes from his speech that he gave earlier today. We're going to watch a bit of it, but this is Nazi level shit. This is Nazi level shit. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. If you're new here, I'm Chris Valenti. I'm a douchebag from New York who majored in history and minored in political science. This is real independent journalism, so if you want to support the channel financially, please do. Become a member, become a patron, hit the thanks button, buy merch, do all that jazz. But you got to hear it from the horse's mouth. You got to hear it from the horse's mouth.
But last month, American-born workers gained 830,000 new jobs, a record. That's American-born. While the illegal aliens lost 340,000, and we don't want bad for them, but look, we have a country to run, and we want to have them come in, and we want to have them help our farmers. You know, you probably saw I got myself into a little trouble because I said, I don't want to take people away from the farmers. And we're going to do something I think that's going to be good, because we want all the criminals out. Everybody agrees that we're finding the criminals, the murderers, the drug dealers. We're getting them the hell out of here. But the farmers, some of the farmers, many of you sitting right here, I have 4 friends right in the 5th row. But some of the farmers, you know, they've had people working for them for years. And we're going to do something. We're working with Christie. And we're going to do something that we're going to sort of put the farmers in charge. And if a farmer's...
Listen to what he's saying, bro. We're going to do something. We're going to work with Christie, the head of the Department of Homeland Security, and we're going to put the farmers in charge. He's talking about the landowners in charge of the people, okay?
Been with one of these people that works so hard. They bend over all day. We don't have too many people can do that. But they work very hard, and they know them very well. And some of the farmers are literally, you know, cry when they see this happen. If a farmer is willing to vouch for these people, in some way, Christie, I think we're going to have to just say that's going to be good, right? You know, we're going to be.
If the farmers are willing to vouch for these people. And then the other day, in Alligator Auschwitz, he was talking about ownership of these people, okay? Listen, I understand, like, semantics and you know, wordsmithing, but I believe that he is trying to insinuate passing ownership of these people onto their bosses so that they cannot be deported, because he only wants immigrants in this nation to be back-breaking laborers. Quite literally. I think that is... And earlier in this same speech, Trump said Shylock when referring to bankers, which is that's like from The Merchant of Venice. That is professional Shakespearean anti-Semitism. He's talking about getting loans from banks, and he was like, you might get a good banker, you might get a Shylock. I think Stephen Miller is writing these speeches, bro.
Be good with it, because we don't want to do it where we take all of the workers off the farms. We want the farms to do great like they're doing right now. So Christy Noem has done a fantastic job, and Tom Homan. And we're working on legislation right now. Susie, right? We're working on legislation right now where farmers, look, they know better. They work with them for years. You had cases where, not here, but just even over the years, where people have worked for on a farm for 14, 15 years, and they get thrown out pretty viciously. And
yeah, because of you. Because of you.
We can't do it. We got to work with the farmers and people that have hotels and leisure properties.
See, I told people that have hotels and leisure properties, he only wants them to be maids and farmers and gardeners.
We're going to work with them, and we're going to work very strong and smart, and we're going to put you in charge. We're going to make you responsible.
We're going to put you in charge. We're going to make you responsible for these people. Ownership.
And I think that that's going to make a lot of people happy. Now, serious radical right people, who I also happen to like a lot, they may not be quite as happy, but they'll understand, won't they? Do you think so?
Yes, because he's serious radical right. He's talking about fucking Nazis. He's talking about the Nazis who were like, no, we don't even want them as farmers. We want them all gone. We want them all dead. We want them exterminated. What the fuck?
Secretary, look at you with a white hat on. Do you think they'll understand that? You're the one that brought this whole situation up. Brooke Rollins brought it up, and she said, so we have a little problem. The farmers are losing a lot of people.
Yes, because our corporate interests, our giant companies like fucking Tyson and Purdue have been using undocumented immigrants as slave labor, slave wage labor, where they provide them with dirt fucking poor treatment, dirt poor pay, because what are they supposed to do? Call the fucking police and complain? You know, like, bro, this goddamn nation is going to hell in a fucking handbasket. Thank you for the $5, Salim. What's the point in voting if we have no control over anything? No fucking idea.
And we figured it out, and we have some great stuff being written, and let the farmers be responsible. And then if the farmers don't do a good job, we'll throw them the hell out of the country. We'll let the guys...
What? So he's just saying, even if you're a U.S.-born citizen, you're a fucking farmer, like, if you don't do a good job, you're gone. We're deporting you. What the fuck?
We'll let the illegals stay, and we'll throw the farmer the hell out, okay? Get ready, farmer, I'm telling you.
And they're going to say, oh, he was just joking.
But violent... Okay, so the fake news will write that.
What? What just happened?
Job, we'll throw them the hell out of the country. We'll let the guys... We'll let the illegals stay, and we'll throw the farmer the hell out, okay? Get ready, farmer, I'm telling you. But violent... Okay, so the...
Did they cut it? This is Fox. Did Fox News just cut whatever the fuck he just said?
Fake news will write that.
What the fuck is that?
Donald Trump will throw farmers out of our country. They will write it. Because whenever I'm...
You just said it.
Sarcastic. You know, when you can't be sarcastic as a politician. Well, if you're me, you can't be if you're...
You're a president.
So I want to say I was only kidding. No, the fake news will write it. Donald Trump wants all farmers thrown the hell out of our country. The audience booed the hell out of him. There was no boo. No, they're fake news. That's why nobody watches them anymore. Violent crime is plummeting, and we're on track to reach the lowest murder rate ever recorded by the...
All right, listen, we're going to keep on watching this speech live. If you're watching this pre-recorded, I mean, listen, dude, Donald Trump just told you with his full-ass chest, this is the second time. He said it in Alligator Auschwitz. He said passing on ownership of these farmers and these maids and these gardeners to hotel owners and farmers and leisure spot owners. What are we talking about? And I know slavery is legal in the United States under the 13th Amendment as long as you are imprisoned. But how are you supposed to enslave these people? Like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. All right, listen, if you're watching this pre-recorded, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, get this out there. People need to fucking see this. Do me one last favor, give me money, and hit that video over there. It's a banger, I promise you. And I know bangers.
Year, the end of this year, it looks like we're doing way good. And that's knowing that we have a lot of people in the country that we didn't have in the country 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, we have a lot of people that they allowed into the country that are serious criminals. A lot of them are on their way out, however. Iran's nuclear enrichment has been obliterated. Remember when CNN said, it wasn't obliterated. It was maybe damaged or damaged badly, but obliterated is too strong a word. No, it was obliterated. That's now been proven. The Atomic Energy Commission.
No, it hasn't.
Missions, everything that's been obliterated. And they were trying to demean me by saying that, but they were really demeaning those great pilots and people and mechanics that got those planes over there and were able to shoot from high up in the air going very, very fast with potentially a lot of things being shot at them and hit every single one, they're trying to demean me, but to me they were demeaning them. And they got out of the plane and they said, what the hell, we hit every single target. They know better than anybody, but now that's been proven. It's CNN fake news and scammers that work for them, scam writers that work for them. But we understand it and we fight it back, and a lot of people said, sir, don't criticize it because they're beneath you. No, they're not beneath me. Nobody's beneath. You got to put it, otherwise people don't understand. If you don't say something about it, you got to say it. These people did one of the greatest military hits and maneuvers in the history of our country, and I want them to be appreciated for it.
What did Trump post on Truth? Let's see. This? What did you say? Trump posted a hard as fuck photo on Truth of the most American picture I've seen. This? Icy Pie, this goes hard as fuck? What? Wait. We're going to take a detour here, chat. Can you explain to me how this is the most American picture you've ever seen? How is that the most American picture you've ever seen? There's an American flag, AI-generated eagles that are merged together into one, and 2 fireworks. How the fuck is that the most American picture you've ever seen? Hold on, I've got one. Here's a fucking harder American picture. You're telling me that you think this, which is AI generated, you're telling me you think this goes harder than this? Are you for real? Are you dead ass? That goes harder? Okay, so you just think it goes hard, but you don't actually think that this picture is the most American photo you've ever seen? Hold on, I've got another one. Brother, you don't think this goes harder? You don't think this goes even fucking harder? Are you out of your mind? And these are real photos. Brother, this is AI generated. This is mid as fuck. This doesn't go hard at all. Look at his turkey neck pussy. He's got a fucking pussy on his neck. Why can't I zoom in? Bro, look at him. He's got a pussy on his neck. Are we being for real? This isn't even America. This is just Donald. It goes hard? No, it doesn't, bro. It's a picture of Donald. It barely has anything to fucking do with America. He's the main focus of the picture. The fuck, everything else is in the background. How the fuck? Oh my god, dude. You can't even make this shit up, dude. These people are actually cult-like followers. Bro, you are in a cult.
So, they're coming to the White House tomorrow night, and I'm signing the bill with the Speaker of the House. And by the way, Mike Johnson did a great job. John Thune did a great job. Everybody. This whole 2 weeks has been incredible, hasn't it? You know, when you think of all of the victories, we stopped 5 nations from going to war, and somebody else will get the Nobel Peace Prize for their writing about Donald Trump. A professor at some school that you've never heard of has received the Nobel Prize for his writing about Donald Trump and what Donald Trump did. I'll say, what about me? I don't get it, but that's one of those things. But think of it, we stopped India and Pakistan. We stopped Kosovo and Serbia. They've been fighting for a long time. And a lot of it was trade. I said, you're not going to trade with us if you're going to go to war. And India, Pakistan was big, very big, for a different reason. I mean, they have little things called nuclear weapons. You would have had pretty soon a nuclear war. We stopped that. In Africa, you look at what was going on in the Congo with Rwanda. That war was going on for 30 years. 30 years, and we stopped it, and it was vicious.
Dude, brother just takes credit for literally everything.
6 million people killed, and it was a bad one. It was killed and killed badly. Machetes. A machete. You know what a machete is? You don't want to know.
You know what a machete is? You don't want to know. What the fuck do you mean? Do you know what a machete? Who the fuck doesn't know what a machete is? You don't want to know. What the fuck?
Just did a really great job. And then, of course,
there are 20 billion Guatemalans currently attacking the Statue of Liberty. Oh,
off with the hit, the perfect hit in Iran, where they were talking awfully badly, you know, death to America, death to Israel. They were talking awfully badly, and they're not talking badly anymore, to be honest with you. And we might even meet with them and see if they want to meet. They want to meet, and we'll see if we can do something. But they want to meet. I think they want to meet very badly. But our allies have agreed to pay over $1 trillion a year for our defense. You saw what happened in NATO. In fact, we have our ambassador to NATO here. Where's our you know that guy? In Iowa, they know him. Big Matt Whitaker. We have Matt Whitaker from Iowa.
Filling up my coffee.
I wasn't going to hire him, and then I said, Matt, you come from Iowa, don't you? Yes, sir, I do. Okay, you're hired. Okay. Anybody comes from Iowa, I hire. And every branch of the U.S. military is setting records for new enlistments. You know, remember a year ago, it was embarrassing. They couldn't get anybody to go into the military. They couldn't get anybody to go into the police or fire departments. They couldn't get anybody to go into government. And now we just set a record, a new record of enlistments in every single branch of the military and in all police forces. 1 year. 1 year ago, I remember saying to our great First Lady, I said, you know, First Lady, I call her First Lady because it makes me feel good. First Lady, isn't it terrible? You're saying good night, First Lady, my darling. Because it reminds me that I'm president. That's why. Now, I said, First Lady, it's terrible. Nobody wants to join our military force. And you know, that was very demeaning to the people that are in there, that have been in there for a long time doing a good job. And then all of a sudden, like, we get elected and there's a spirit in the country and we start doing well. We have victory after victory in so many different things, especially economically. We're doing so good. We have hundreds of billions of dollars flowing in from other countries. We have plants being built all over. I mean, a little less here because you have enough with your farm. Oh, by the way, but I did get beef and I got ethanol into Europe. You saw that.
Spilled water all over myself.
You saw that.
Let's go back. I want to hear what he said.
Record of enlistments in every single branch of the military and in all police forces. 1 year. 1 year ago, I remember saying, I wasn't going to hire him, and then I said, Matt, you come from Iowa, don't you? Yes, sir, I do. Okay, you're hired. Okay. Anybody comes from Iowa, I hire. And every branch of the U.S. military is setting records for new enlistments. You know, remember a year ago, it was embarrassing. They couldn't get anybody to go into the military. They couldn't get anybody to go into the police or fire departments. They couldn't get anybody to go into government. And now we just set a record, a new record of enlistments in every single branch of the military and in all police forces.
Again, that is a sign of a failing society. When people are desperate, they join the military. They do not do it out of love for their nation.
1 year. 1 year ago, I remember saying to our great First Lady, I said, you know, First Lady, I call her First Lady because it makes me feel good.
What?
First Lady, isn't it terrible? You're saying good night, First Lady, my darling. Because it reminds me that I'm president. That's why.
Did you forget your wife's name, dog?
No, I said, First Lady, it's terrible. Nobody wants to join our military force. And you know, that was very demeaning to the people that are in there, that have been in there for a long time doing a good job. And then all of a sudden, like, we get elected and there's a spirit in the country and we start doing well. We have victory after victory in so many different things, especially economically. We're doing so good. We have hundreds of billions of dollars flowing in from other countries. We have plants being built all over. I mean, a little less here because you have enough with your farm. Oh, by the way, but I did get beef and I got ethanol into Europe. You saw that. You saw that.
Do you think Europeans want American beef, bro? They don't. It's disgusting.
United Kingdom, they didn't want to do it. You know, they never took our beef and they never took our ethanol.
Because it's incredibly low quality meat.
We said, got to do it, and they did, and they were great. We made a wonderful trade deal with them, but we're doing that all over. Is ethanol very important still for Iowa? Is it still? Yes? Anyway, so they're taking it in the United Kingdom, and beef, they never took it because they want to do their own. You know, they have a lot of farms and a lot of farmers, and they want to do their own, but they took it. and it's going to be great. You're going to do, I'll tell you what, the farmers here are going to do incredibly. Plus, we have tariffs on a lot of this stuff that was coming in and absolutely killing you, where they have different forms of vegetation coming in at prices that were very, very bad for you. And a lot of it comes in because they want to put you out of business, and then they want to raise the prices. And we're not letting that happen to the farmers and to Iowa, to Nebraska and Wisconsin and all these other places that have been so great. And in breaking news just yesterday, we reached a historic trade agreement with Vietnam to open their markets to American exports with zero tariffs. They get zero tariffs. And you're going to be giving them vast amounts of farm product, including beef, pork, poultry, dairy, and pure Iowa ethanol. You're going to be given all of those products. And the fact is, I could go on, but the fact is really strong, and it's stronger than it's ever been, and stronger than I've ever seen. The golden age of America is upon us. This is a golden age.
No, motherfucker, it's the second gilded age, dog. Sure, it's a golden age, but it's rotted on the inside. And it's plated with this thin, shitty layer of gold. You know when people get gold and they bite and they bend it and they go, nah, it's dog shit. Bro, you're gilding it. It's not solid. There's no foundation.
This is such a beautiful term, the golden age. And I couldn't have even said it in my first term. I'm telling you, this is going to blow the first term away, and we did great. We got great marks in the first term, and this is going to blow it away. This incredible national resurgence is happening just in time for one of the biggest events in the history of our country. Exactly 1 year from tomorrow, we will celebrate the 250th anniversary of America's founding with a birthday party, the likes of which you have never seen before.
Oh my God, he literally sounds like a fucking, like out of an anime. We're gonna have a celebration, the likes of which the world has never seen. Like, dude, he's fucking nuts.
2 years ago, I came to Iowa and promised that the festivities would begin right here at the Iowa State Fairgrounds, and tonight, here I am, okay? Promises kept. Promises kept. It's an honor, too. It's an honor because you've been with me from the beginning. Thank you. Thank you very much. No, it is an honor. You've been with me from the beginning. It was without doubt. In fact, I had some moments when I said maybe they might not, fake stories were put out there. Like, I don't like corn. I don't like corn. I love corn. I just like, but they give you fake news. I said, you think that's going to hurt me in Iowa? My numbers went up. No, I don't know. I can't figure you people out.
Come here.
This evening, we're officially launching America 250, an enormous year-long nationwide celebration of our heritage.
Wait, what did he just say?
Figure you people out. This evening, we're officially launching America 250, an enormous year-long nationwide celebration.
An enormous year-long nationwide celebration? What does he think this is, a fucking gladiator arena? We're going to put on the games, and the games are going to last for 4 years. A year-long celebration? Where the fuck do you think you get this money from? What the fuck is going on? A year-long celebration?
Of our heritage. It's really also a celebration
This is Roman shit. This is Roman shit.
Our flag, our great American flag, and our glorious American freedom. Did anybody see the beautiful flag I put up in front of the White House? Right? Everyone's liking it. Everyone's liking it. I actually put two up. I put one in the front and one in the back.
Oh, cool. You know what else you did?
Great.
You took away everyone's fucking health care, you piece of shit.
I thought that would be enough. They're big. They're about as big as you can get. We're proud of it. We will be announcing many more details in the weeks to come, but there are just some of the things that we have planned. And I have to say, first, in honor of the wonderful tradition of fairgrounds like this one, this is a great fairground. As you know, I've been here before.
Luigi.
We will be orchestrating what we're calling the Great American...
How tall is the flagpole? No, it's not 88. There's no shot. How tall is the new flagpole at the White House? No shot it's 88 feet tall. No shot it's 88 feet tall. No fucking shot. You're fucking lying. No, they're 100 feet. They're 100 feet. Jesus Christ. What is it? Wait a minute. Wait, what? Are they actually 88? Are they actually 88 feet? No fucking shot. They are. Trump says they're 100 feet, but I bet you Stephen Miller did that. Oh my God. That's fucking crazy. That's so fucked.
American State Fair. And it will
88
start
means Heil Hitler. 88 is a Nazi dog whistle for Heil Hitler. There's just, it's even like, it's credited by the ADL as being like a, you see 88 everywhere.
right here in Iowa. Right? So we're starting it off in Iowa. Now we're starting it off at your great fairgrounds, and we're going to have a big crowd just like we do tonight. That's a big crowd. I can't even see the end of it. So thank you back there. I'd like to move the press back so they could see better. But the Great American State Fair will bring America 250 programming to fairgrounds across the country, culminating in a giant patriotic festival next summer on the National Mall, featuring exhibits from all 50 states, and all 50 states are excited, and I was excited. You know, when I did the 250, there was nothing I could do. It was 250, it was 250, so I can't say that was my baby. The country happened to be 250 years old. But what I did do is during my first term, I got the Olympics, and I got the great soccer, you know, that whole deal, right? I got, we call it soccer, they call it football. I got them both. I got the Olympics. First I got the Olympics, and I got it. I was president, and I said, you know, it's a shame. It's a shame. I got the World Cup, and I have the Olympics, and I did it. And you have no idea. President Obama didn't want to make a call to the Olympics. You know why? Because he went to Switzerland or wherever, and he said, you know, if a president goes to get the Olympics, you have to have a deal. You have to be chosen. He went there and he came in fourth, so he hated them, I guess. And he was unwilling to make a call, and they called me up. Democrats called me up, actually, from Los Angeles, and I said, I'll do it. I made the call, and I couldn't get the people off the phone because they were so starved for love, because nobody would call them from.
What? Dude, this guy's nuts. Oh, my God, what the fuck?
Anyway, we made a deal. I got the Olympics. Then we got the World Cup with Johnny. We got the World Cup.
Dude, we're only halfway through this fucking speech. Are you fucking kidding me? Holy fucking shit, Grandpa. I'm not watching this whole thing. You want to watch this whole thing? Go watch the whole thing. Holy fucking shit, Grandpa. What the fuck? All right, we got to make a thumbnail. We got to make a thumbnail. Trump's speech, America 250. We're literally not even halfway, bro. We're also not even a quarter of the way through his presidency. Excuse me. Episode 171. Somebody said Project 2025 tracker. Overall progress. I want to see the There's got to be something about immigrants. Maybe the Department of State. This one's already done. Strengthen relations with Saudi Arabia. Click the immigration tag underneath some of these posts. Where do you see an immigration tag? Oh, this one. Okay. Let's see. They've got a lot completed. I want to see what they... Suspend all visas to people from countries that do not accept the return of immigrants ordered deported. Suspend... Oh my God, that's an insane one. So if your nation won't take you, they're just going to... Oh my God, that's... Withdraw from the human rights... Dude, we already did that. We did that a while ago. We withdrew from the Human Rights Department a long time ago. Like, we don't accept the ICC. Direct the military to assist in building the border wall. That's going to happen. What the fuck? Oh, look at this. Cut off Department of Justice grants to states and localities that do not cooperate with Trump's immigration. So any blue state will essentially just lose federal funding. That's insane. Ban mixed status families from living in all federally assisted housing. U.S. citizens and non-citizens. Mixed status families? Oh my God. This is fucking disgusting. Bro, we're actually so wildly fucked. We're so fucked. We're so fucking cooked, chat. Dude, next up, banning interracial marriage. Oh, God. Yo, give me back my frames. Yo, give me back my frames real quick. Yo, give me back my frames real quick. You fucking commie bastards. Did you just fucking reallocate my frames to the masses? Did you just fucking wealth redistribute my fucking frames? What the fuck? What is the matter with you? You commie fucks. You commie bastards. I need this picture to not be dog shit quality. Why is it dog shit quality when it wasn't dog shit quality earlier? It shouldn't be dog shit quality now. What in the fuck? What in the fuck? What in the fuck? It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Fun to stay in the YMCA. Bro, why is this dog shit qualitussy? It's supposed to be good qualitussy. Good qualijon cheese. It's supposed to be really good qualijon cheese right now.
It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense, brothers. It just simply don't make no sense.
Yeah, see, this is a high quality image. The fuck? What in the fuck? Why is this shit quality? Huh?
Somebody explain this to me.
And frankly, I am the banana man.
The image is not meant to be that big.
I think you're not meant to be that big, poop face. You fucking poop nose. And then I need one of me, full freak tweak level tweak freak. Yeah, there we go. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. All right. Growth. Dude, I'm such a piece of shit. Oh, God. Look at that. That's a banger. Now that's a banger. That right there, that's a banger, right? Is that a banger? That's a banger if I've ever seen one. I know slavery never left, but still. My cat keeps attacking you. Put your cat to the screen. There we go. All right. Mods, ban the cat. All right, let's get this fucker uploaded. Jack said no. Alrighty, and now we need a title. Chris, are you anti-cat? No, dude, I have a cat right next to me. I love cats. Cats are the closest thing to living gods that we have. Okay. Trump announces new legislation to enslave migrant workers. Happy Independence Day. Happy Independence Day. Trump announces new legislation to enslave migrant workers. Trump How about this? Trump How about this? Watch. It's going to say, watch. Trump says we will enslave migrant workers. There we go. That's better. And then we're going to say, like, wait a minute, Dolan, that's slavery. All right, let's make sure the video started right. Hi there, how you doing? It did. Playlist, Valeni VOD. There is no AI in this video, and yes, I would like it to be monetized. Add an end screen, most recent upload. Public. We're still checking your video, that's fine. Watch. Trump says we will enslave migrant workers. Happy Independence Day. Publish. All right, that's up. That is up and running.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Mr. President.
So we had a great time in Iowa. Very successful. A lot of people. I think they enjoyed it.
Valenti, would you be against a 3-year indentured servitude program for citizens with time served for those who have been here working? Yeah, I'm against any fucking form of indentured servitude, Mike. Holy shit, I think we might be cooked. Are you for indentured servitude, Mike?
But it's been a great state for me. We won it all 3 times. And very special. Tomorrow's going to be great. We're going to have the B-2s flying, and we have Christie, the whole group, including a lot of great congressmen.
Not at all, just a question. Yeah, well, that just a question sounded really fucking strange, dog. I don't support any form of indentured servitude.
We have everybody, and we have Doug Burgum.
Dude, they all wear the fucking hats like it's a
Have
fucking
any
Nazi armband. They all wear the fucking hat like it's a goddamn swastika.
Brooke Rollins, Agriculture. If you have any questions, let us know. But we all had a great time in Iowa.
Mr. President, has Hamas agreed to the latest framework for a ceasefire and hostage deal?
We'll see what happens. We're going to know over the next 24 hours.
Mr. President, you had the best border numbers in the month of June in the country's history.
Dude, I feel like the hats are different rankings. Like with the fucking, the different things they say on them and the different colors, it's like different fucking ranks among them.
Now with the One Big Beautiful Bill being signed by you, you've set the bar so high when it comes to border security. What is the expectation moving forward, sir?
I love this guy. No, I love him.
I love when the journalists aren't free press. I love when they're state-controlled media. I love when they blow smoke up my ass.
He's like my favorite person. We just want to see if we can keep going up. We had great numbers. I appreciate you saying it. We have had, but we just want to keep them going up, right?
That's right.
That's all we can do.
Mr. President, you talked about farmers and trying to give them some relief. Can you talk a little bit more specifically about, you mentioned legislation tonight at the rally?
Yeah, I'll let my agricultural genius talk about it.
Thank you, sir. Yes, we have been hard at work. The president gave a directive that the farmers needed to make sure they could farm and do their harvests and milk their cows. So Stephen Miller, myself, the top
Told you Stephen Miller has a fucking role to play in this. I fucking told you.
team in the White House has been working on, including Secretary Noem, including Secretary Chavez Schumer, on the H-2A streamline, the current visa system that allows seasonal workers in. So
visa system that allows seasonal workers in. Oh my God, they're only going to let back-breaking labor. They're only going to let migrants come in if they're doing back-breaking labor. They're literally only going to let them in if they do back-breaking labor.
we are hard at work. We've already made some changes. We're going to make it cheaper, more efficient, and more effective for those farmers. We will have a 100% legal workforce very, very soon, thanks to President Trump's leadership.
Mr. President.
Good answer, right?
Mr. President,
Yes.
we're 10 days away from the anniversary of your assassination attempt. Do you know any more now about the assassination attempt than you knew then?
Well, the FBI was in the other day with a lot of people, including the Attorney General, who's doing a great job, Pam Bondi, and I'm very satisfied. They
So we're about to have a giant slave labor force.
gave me a complete presentation. I was very satisfied.
There's a report that you held a secret meeting.
My American Eagle screech is all over your page right now. Dude, my fucking American Eagle screech being used by my enemies is unreal. Unreal, bro. Unreal. I guarantee you it is. Like, just, hold on. American Eagle screech. It's all me. It's all fucking me. Oh my God, these people don't even know that I'm a fucking socialist.
Today with a Saudi official. Are you any closer on expanding the Abraham Accords? Any news from
Yeah,
that
we
meeting?
are. It's one of the things we talked about, the Abraham Accords. Now that Iran has been taken out in terms of a nuclear threat, and they have been completely taken out, at least for a very long time, I think a lot of people are going to be joining the Abraham Accords. We have 4 great countries already, but we're going to have a lot of people, I think, joining the Abraham Accords. Yeah.
Some polls have shown the big, beautiful bill to not be very popular. I'm wondering how confident
Those polls are lies. Any polls that are bad, they're lies.
are you in being able
It's a fake poll. Fake news.
to sell it to the American people?
Yeah, I think it's very popular. It does many things, but one of them is the biggest tax cuts in our country's
For the 1%.
history. And that alone makes it very popular.
Has America re-legalized slavery? Yeah, Trump, they were just talking about they're passing on ownership of migrant workers to the farm owners and the hotel owners and everything. And they're only doing a visa program where you can come in if you're a seasonal worker here to do back-breaking labor, and you will be owned by the landowner.
The only poll that was done was a Democrat poll, and they'll ask 2 of the little bit controversial things, but good things for the country. The tax cuts alone, so it's the largest tax cut in the history of our country, and that alone makes it very, very popular.
Mr. President, can you talk a little bit about your expectations for the celebration next year? Obviously, a bit of a preview tonight. You talked about the Patriot Games. You highlighted a possible U.S.
The Patriot Games? The what? You've talked about the Patriot Games? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is this? Long American State Fair celebration, the Great American State Fair. Over the next year, state and county fairs will begin a part of the American State Fair. What the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck? President Trump will create a new outdoor National Garden of American Heroes park featuring statues of 250 American heroes. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. The brand new Patriot Games? What is it? What the fuck is it supposed to be? Hold on. Patriot Games is a new nationally televised athletic competition for high school students from all 50 states that President Trump has announced as part of the kickoff celebration for the United States' 250th anniversary. The goal of the Patriot Games, according to President Trump, is to show off the best of American skill, sportsmanship, and competitive spirit, and to unite the nation. It's envisioned as a family-friendly, patriotic event, and Health and Human Services RFK Jr. is reportedly leading the initiative. While specific details about the sports included and athlete selection process are still engaging. What the fuck is this supposed to be? A Coliseum-style event? What are we going to have, 2 fucking people from each state? What are we going to have, the male and female competitor of each state? And whichever fucking state wins gets more federal funding? What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? Is this supposed to be like the Trump-Hitler Youth?
UFC title fight at the White House. What are your expectations for the celebration next year?
Well, I think it's going to be a great celebration. It's going to be as big a celebration as we've ever had. And remember, we have the World Cup and we have the Olympics also.
Calm down, blow me.
We have that, plus we have 250. I think it's going to be a wild time. It's going to be a great time for this country. It's going to be the golden age. Thank you.
What's next for Russia and Ukraine? Are you speaking to Zelensky tomorrow? And what are you hoping
I'm
the next?
speaking to President Zelensky tomorrow, early in the morning, and I'm very disappointed with the conversation I had today with President Putin, because I don't think he's there. I don't think he's there.
Yeah, he doesn't fucking respect you, you fat orange monkey.
I'm very disappointed. Well, it's not, I'm just saying, I don't think he's looking to stop. And that's too bad. This is Biden. This isn't me. This is Biden's war.
This isn't my fault. I said I would stop the war on day 1, but it's not my fault. Oh, it's really hard. It's way harder than I thought it would be.
It wouldn't have happened. If I were president, it wouldn't have happened. So,
Knowles is right. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. This is not supposed to be a Hunger Games. It's meant to highlight primarily Caucasian athletes. They are only going to pick white people. Promise you that. They are only going to pick white people to compete in this. Blonde-haired, blue-eyed whites, Christian, God-fearing fucking people. It's going to be so bizarre.
The way I had to get too involved because it's
starting a group called the Glorious Bastards. Ooh.
Biden's war. President, it wouldn't have happened. So, in one way...
Why was there another cut, dude? Why do they keep cutting?
It's Biden's war. President.
Dude, what is this cut? What is this cut? Why are they cutting? Show me the fucking whole thing. What the fuck?
It wouldn't have happened. So, in one way I had to get too involved because it's Biden's war. And I got stuck in the
war. It's not Putin's war?
Middle of it. Just like I did with immigration and a lot of other things that they screwed up. But I was not happy with the conversation, no.
Mr. President, a couple weeks ago, you said that you were on the cusp of a historic settlement with Harvard University. What's changed since then? Do you think you're closer to an agreement, or do you think Columbia could go?
Dude, if Harvard University bends the knee and settles in some lawsuit, we're actually fucking cooked. We're actually fucking cooked.
I think we're going to probably settle with Harvard. We're going to probably settle with Columbia.
Dude, settling with Harvard and Columbia means that they're putting in MAGA DEI. That is part of the fucking settlement, is that they're getting rid of DEI for actual minorities. They're saying you need to start accepting more Republican MAGA voters, and you need to change the curriculum where it no longer criticizes the state of Israel in any shape whatsoever. It is fucking demented how fast we are transitioning.
They want to settle very badly.
How much?
There's no rush. A lot of money.
See what I'm saying? There's no rush. I told you the other day when he settled with CBS or Paramount, the reason why the rich always win, or like him, is because they just drag out the lawsuit. There is no rush. The longer the lawsuit goes, Trump can afford it. He's a billionaire. He'll keep on paying the lawyer fees. Other people can't. Granted, Harvard University has a fuckload of money, but I don't think they have the money that fucking Trump has. I wonder if Putin watches your videos and laughs every time you call Trump names because they're bangers. There's no way Vladdy Pooty watches this. And if he does, yo, Vladdy Pooty, fuck you, bald bitch. Sukiyama ol cazzo.
Ask you about one of the words you used during your speech, Shylocks. That's widely viewed as an anti-Semitic phrase. Do you intend for that word to be used
No,
that way?
I've never heard it that way. To me, a Shylock is somebody that's a money lender at high rates. I've never heard it that way. You view it differently than me.
That's because Stephen Miller put it in the fucking speech.
Never heard that. Go ahead. Anything else?
President, what do you make of the deal that your lawyers struck with CBS's parent company? Can you talk about that? And have you had any conversations with Larry Ellison about expectations you might have for Skydance and PSAs that they would run should they take over Paramount?
Well, Larry Ellison's a friend of mine. He's a great guy. I think he's the buyer. But we did a deal for about $16 million plus 16 million or...
I know. They got Bibles in schools. They're teaching that the 2020 election was stolen. Yeah, I know. We're in the end. This is why I told you, we're not on the slippery slope to fascism. We made it to the bottom. And now we're trying to normalize this nightmare.
Maybe more than that in advertising.
Yes, Stephen Miller is an actual Nazi.
Combination of 16 plus, 16 plus. So it's like 32 to maybe $35 million. I think that what they did, and this has nothing to do with Larry Ellison. I think he's going to run CBS really well, and I think he's making a good deal to buy it. I think he's great. He's
state-run media incoming. CBS is about to be purchased by Trump.
Got a son who's a fantastic young man too. But what they did was incredible. They took an answer from Kamala just before, the day before the election, and it was a horrible answer. And they took the answer out in its entirety, and they put another answer in, a different answer. That was a different part of the interview, because the answer she gave was so bad it was like election threatening.
The way that Trump won this lawsuit, by the way, his lawyers claimed that he suffered, quote, mental anguish from that interview. I'm not even kidding, that he suffered mental anguish.
And I've seen it all, but I've never seen that. Nobody has. And we understand that was done in other locations also with respect to answers. But think of it. One of the most important questions, maybe the most important question, she gave a horrible answer to it. So they took an answer from another part of the interview and they inserted it. Nobody's ever seen that before. So I think they made a wise decision to settle.
And is that $16 million for the ads, is that part of contingency for your administration to approve the merger? Or the sale of the company?
That has nothing to do with that. This is totally separate. This was when I was running. This had nothing to do with what was taking place in government. This is when I was running. This was essentially the night before the election. And they did this, and we thought it was despicable, actually.
For countries that don't get a letter right away and that you haven't made a deal.
So we're going to start sending letters out to various countries starting tomorrow. We'll probably have 10 or 12 go out tomorrow. And over the next few days, I think by the 9th, they'll be fully covered. And they'll range in value from maybe 60 or 70% tariffs to 10 and 20% tariffs. But they're going to be starting to go out sometime tomorrow. We've done the final form, and it's basically going to explain what the countries are going to be paying in tariffs. And it's very important. It's a lot of money for the country, but we're giving them a bargain. Because if I went by the true deficits or by other ways of measuring, it could be a lot more. We don't want to. I don't want to stretch it too much. We want to keep it pretty reasonable. And I think it's very reasonable.
What countries will you be sending those letters to first?
We're going to be sending to. Well, you're going to see tomorrow. I'd rather give it tomorrow. But we have probably 10 to 12 tomorrow. And then after that, we'll be sending 10 or 12 a day. And as we get along, as we get to this...
Oh, Doland. Fucking drones, bro. Get your fucking drones away from my goddamn window, dog.
And President Trump is set to sign his massive tax cut and spending bill into law today. The so-called Big Beautiful Bill passed the House by a razor-thin margin. Now the president's preparing to sign it with a military flyover. But first, he's spending some time on the golf course. Senior White House correspondent Selena Wang has more on the president's agenda today. So, Selena, what's the latest and what can we expect from this signing ceremony tonight?
Yeah, Diane. Well, later this afternoon, President Trump is expected to sign that bill here at the White House as those July 4th celebrations are underway. The president says that multiple flyovers are planned, including one featuring a B-2 bomber. That's the same kind of plane during those Iranian nuclear strikes.
Damn, I won't be here for the B-2 bomber flyover, guys. I'm not going to be here.
As he signs this bill into law. So it's going to be quite the show. The president clearly wants to be this celebration to also be about his big legislative achievement, this big bill. This could be the biggest legislative achievement of the president for the entirety of his second term. It is full of his campaign promises, but there are also deep concerns about those steep cuts to Medicaid, which
just spent so much money on this stupid shit. I love how this is all happening while we get rid of Medicaid and Medicare. Dude, it feels like a funeral. This feels like a funeral. Thanks for $5. Oh my God. Told you this would happen fucking months ago. You guys remember when I said it starts by deploying the military at the southern border and then, you know, you invoke martial law? I mean, did you guys know that the Marines were deployed in Florida today? Did you guys know that? Marines were deployed in Florida today. Marines deployed to Florida. 200 Marines head to Florida in support of ICE as the military takes a stronger stance on immigration. It's happening underneath your nose.
Your whole ethic seems to be revolving
It's
on
happening underneath your nose. They're just not announcing it. They're deploying the military across the entire nation in preparation for martial law. This is not a joke.
The military zone here extends.
Chris, I saw a headline saying he was deporting people to South Sudan. They're deporting people to any nation where they will die. We've just got military districts propping up. Holy fuck, dude. It's all happening at lightning speed. Flood the zone, blitzkrieg style. I'll tell you one thing. It's impressive. Is it evil? Yeah. But it's also why... If leftists had this momentum, you know what I'm saying? If leftists got into power and were able to just like go, all right, we're making free healthcare as fast as Trump is deploying the military. We're making free healthcare system. We're taking the money from the rich. We're reallocating it. Like, bro, if leftists had this level of momentum, this fucking world would be a utopia. Utopia. Jesus Christ.
And we're looking for the other 11%. We don't believe it. As we prepare to celebrate 2.5 centuries of freedom, I'm inviting America's great religious communities to pray for our nation and for our people. From the beginning, this has always been a country
They already suspended the Florida elections, egghead. So yeah, it's not a crazy thing to assume.
And strengthened by prayer. So important.
In 4 or so years, though, can't they just get rid of the bill when the next president comes in? They don't plan on having a next president, dude. There's a reason why Trump is running for a 3rd term. There's a reason why they are proposing amending the 22nd Amendment. There's a reason why they're allocating all this power to the executive branch. They wouldn't give all of this power to the president if they thought that the pendulum is going to swing in 4 years and a Democrat is going to go in and be able to do all of this shit, too. They are allocating all of this power to the presidency because they don't plan on ever leaving. They don't plan on leaving.
Important. If we bring religion back stronger, you're going to see everything get better and better and better.
He says religion. He means Christianity.
You're going to see it get better and better. So as we chart our course toward the next 200...
Keep in mind they're not American. Oh, my apologies.
150 years, let us rededicate ourselves to one nation under God. Right?
Only the false Judeo-Christian God, mind you.
And as you know, recently we've seen some of our political system attempting to overthrow the timeless American principles and other pillars of our liberty and replace them with some of the most noxious ideas in human history, ideas that have been proven false. Members of Congress and even former presidents have been openly embracing vile creeds such as socialism,
Vile creeds such as socialism. Yeah, bro, because it's absolutely vile to want to increase the minimum wage. It's absolutely vile to want everybody to have free health care. It's absolutely vile to want faster buses.
And straight-up communism. In New York, they're trying to elect a communist, Zoran Mamdani, the guy who wants to defund the police, take over the stores.
He has literally said on camera he does not want to defund the police.
And run the stores and have the people hand out goods. And when everything falls apart, it always does. It always works that way. It never has worked any other way. Anarchy and dictatorships prevail. This guy is a communist at the highest level, and he wants to destroy New York. I love New York. And
he is not a communist.
We're not going to let him do that. Generations of Americans before us did not shed their blood only so that we could surrender our country to Marxist lunatics on the eve of our 250th year.
Dude, this is so fucking stupid, and it's so effective. He called him a Marxist, he called him a socialist, he called him a communist, all in one breath. They are saying that those are all the same thing. He's saying there's no such thing as socialism. There is only communist, Marxist, Leninist radicals. He is saying that anybody and everybody who identifies as a fucking socialist is, in fact, a radical communist threat. This is the third Red Scare. You're living through it.
As President of the United States, I'm proclaiming here and now that America is never going to be communist in any way, shape, form, and that includes New York City. And under my administration, we're bringing back freedom and liberty, law and order, and above all, we're bringing back common sense, right? Common sense. On day one, I stopped the weaponization of government against people of faith, and we created the Department of Justice Task Force combating anti-Christian bias. And after
Department of Faith. Fuck the Department of Education. We're going to make the Department of Faith.
I tell you, Pam Bondi is doing a great job. Pam Bondi is doing a great job. Attorney General.
You know who's the head of the Department of Faith, guys? Paula White. You want to see some Paula White? Check this out.
Mahanda akasata, reke yamanda raboko sokota, ronda yakande eke seke la mama manda rabakase, meta rabakande la babakaso, yalamana niana no, sakayato yakande, yamakado yabatadia city akano yakatara sitia. Power!
Oh, God. It's funny, but this is the head of the Department of Faith. And why do we have a Department of Faith?
And strike, and angels have even been dispatched from Africa right now. Africa right now. Africa right now. From Africa right now. They're coming here. They're coming here. In the name of Jesus, from South America. They're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here. From Africa. From South America. Angelic forces. Angelic reinforcement. Angelic reinforcement. Angelic reinforcement. Fika hata anda ata. Ora bata rata anda eke eke manda rasa. For I hear the sound of victory. 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 I hear the sound of victory.
Made the altar a place for sinners and altars.
Guys, I know it's funny, but we might be fucked. This nation actually might collapse in like 6 months. This nation might fucking collapse. Can you believe this shit?
A place for a saint to consecrate himself, to come to God, to pour out his heart to God, to mourn before God. Lord, you're hungry.
Oh my God.
And you don't need my singing. You don't need it. You'll cause the very rocks to cry out if I don't praise you. You said as long as there's breath in my body that I have to bless you. And I get to bless you. But God, you can't work in this earth without partnering. The doors, the priests. Come on up. I was always behold. Here's the question, everybody. Will you be open to divine? If you would say, and I want more of God. I choose today to say, yes, God, I want to open my heart.
Oh my God. Oh. All right. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go hang out with my mom. Are you lighting up tonight? Yeah. I'm going to go hang out with my mom. I'm going to call it quits. Might go live later. I don't know. But I won't be live for when the B2s fly by. All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing. It helps me immensely, all right? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Have a good one. Have a good one. Have a good one. Bye. Bye. Bye.